A few years ago, I had first-time buyers searching for a home. Their budget meant smaller square footage, and they really wanted to be in Cary, but they weren't sure if they could afford it. We ended up touring a vacant home, meaning not occupied. It had all the furniture, everything had been emptied out, of a home that had been on the market for about 60 days in Cary. It fit their budget. They had a fenced-in backyard for their dog, and they had an updated kitchen. It was fantastic. But because it was vacant, my clients just couldn't figure out how to make that space work. They just couldn't picture where furniture would go. And we walked around the house and looked at it and said, put the furniture here, maybe here, but without any guidelines, they just could not picture it. The very next day, there was a brand new property for sale in Durham. And we show up and we open the door and we go, oh my gosh, this is the exact same floor plan of the home that we just toured yesterday in Cary. This one was first day on the market. I could tell from the showing schedule, lots of interested buyers. We toured the home. If I remember correctly, it did not have a fenced-in backyard. It had a wonky driveway. Kitchen was definitely not as nice and newly updated, but the big difference was it had been staged with size appropriate furniture so that my clients going in are like, yeah, we could live here. We can make this size work. We would put our furniture here. This is where we would put this. Now we make this room an office, this room the bedroom. They had done some additional work to expand in the closet space on this one. That on the other one was unfinished space. And they, we've discussed that. And I looked at them. We left the property and they said, hey, what do you think about this one? Do you think, are they going to have lots of offers? Because at this time we had lost out on a few offers, multiple offer situation. They just didn't have quite enough money to compete by going over the list price, nor do they have a ton of due diligence money, which also comes into play in North Carolina with negotiations. And I said, I think this one's definitely going to have multiple offers. My gut says it's going to go over list price, and you're probably looking at more due diligence money to put down than you feel comfortable with doing from our past conversations. I said, but what we can do is we can go back and look at that Cary property that's been on the market for 60 plus days and go look at that. If you still feel, after seeing this one and seeing what can be done to it, and feel like we can make that one work, I am very confident that we can be under contract tonight on that one with not a ton of due diligence, mostly earnest money, submitted with our offer and an under list price offering. And guess what? We went back, saw that property that night, got together, wrote up an offer, and we were under contract that night. So there's two sides to the story. So one is for my buyers, sometimes looking at properties with fresh eyes on properties that have been sitting for a little bit longer. A lot of times there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not having the HGTV feelings. It's not decorated, made to look cute, and you're just seeing the bare bones. So a lot of buyers just can't imagine living there without some guidance in the home. The flip side is for my sellers, keep that in mind when you're listing your property. A lot of times we will discuss, staging a home. If the house is vacant, should we bring in stagers? If the house is going to be occupied, should we bring in a staging consult to help kind of make the floor plan and the flow of the house suit more a broader audience than the way you currently live in the house? So just a couple of things. I really am a strong believer in bringing in a stager, at least for a consultation when you're listing your house, because this is just a tale of, buy the one property in Durham, spending the little bit of extra money to have it staged versus the home in Cary not being staged and vacant and clean. They lost out on probably $15,000-$20,000 for the two, the differences. So just keep that in mind when you're consulting, you're, sitting down with someone to go to sell your home. What are they offering and what guidance are they giving you? So this is my tale of two homes. And if you have any questions about, either buying or selling a property, I'd love for you to reach out. And my name's Kimberlee Edwards, and I'm with Keller Williams Cary.